Loud. Hello, everybody. Happy December. Welcome to SoMATic Mat. We are Zooming, and someone just reminded me to record. So we've already actually started, but we're going to start again and just breathe. So inhale, take this all at your own level. You may be doing something very different. That's fine. Exhale. Don't think that you need to do exactly what I'm doing. This is a chance to tune into your own body and listen into what you need and what feels good to you. Up, and this time let's bend the knees, drop it down, or not. Inhale, lift and open, arch, heart, lungs, chest opening up, feeling the wings, the arms like the wings of the heart, radiating outward, opening, and exhale. I mean, you could even do this in a chair, finding creative ways to move, and exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, big breath, fill up, expand, open, radiate out into the world, and then soften, melt, and let go and shift from side to side. So one thing that has been of interest to me lately is thinking of really softening the center, softening the sort of main line of being you, whatever that means. So for me, that's very much in my spine, in my core, and then even in my idea of who I am. If I'm too rigid around myself, it makes it hard to be in the world. So I try to soften that too. So I'm really into this idea of softening. All right, socks off. Let's do the lymph flush. And this is Perry Nicholson's lymph flush, starting with your right hand, crossing over to your left, right in this little triangle above your collarbone. Could also be over your collarbone. I've seen it done with like this, 2 fingers below, 2 fingers above. And you're just making circles, moving that tissue around in a way that doesn't feel too invasive. So in a way that feels gentle and sustainable. Let's use these ecological words with our bodies. And then switch it to the other side, same thing. Sustainable body, being gentle and kind to yourself. And I'm noticing that I'm shifting from side to side. So you may want to add some kind of shifting, or you may find that your body's just doing something. I wasn't aware that I was doing it until I noticed I was doing it. So sometimes our bodies need to do something. And for me, it might be the overexcitement. So I'm side to side shifting. Now, behind the angle of the jaw, getting in there. And I like to kind of work with the fingertips in there, making little circles so I can get the whole area. I'm relaxing the tongue. And you could even like, make some sound with that. Yummy, coming, sort of dropping down into the body. And ideally, when we hum or make that any kind of noise where we're coming down and in, we are getting the vagus nerve online. And that is one of our body process things. So it's like rest and digest, soothe and settle. It's coming through out here. It's the 10th cranial nerve, and it's also the longest nerve in the body, also known as the wandering nerve. It goes down, it helps with our heartbeat, it helps with digestion, it even helps with like orgasm. So we want that nerve happy. All right, so now we're going to go to our armpit pec area. So there, I'm kind of grabbing that area and massaging around in circles. And yeah, now I'm starting to let my shifting be a little bit more spirally. Relaxing the tongue. Switch it to the other side, same thing. Yeah, I'm very excited. It's partly due to coffee, and the other part is the fact that we are performing in the center clause in Rhinebeck today. Me and Anthony has come on board at the very last minute, replacing one of the other actor dancers who got hurt. So come into between your belly button and your xiphoid process right there in the middle. And I kind of dig my fingertips in, go from side to side on this one. And I'm kind of moving up and down a little bit. So this big lymph plexus is a little further back in the body. But if you think of like dropping a pebble into water, how the ripples move all the way out, even like the tiniest pebble in a still lake will ripple way, way, way out. So think of that kind of rippling movement as we're touching in here. It is going to move back. It is going to effect back there into that lymphatic area if we think about it. And this is like the biggest one in the whole body, the biggest sort of plexus nexus area of lymph. Let's just shake it out for a second. So movement, deep diaphragmatic breathing, shaking, exercise, those are all going to stimulate the lymph flow. And what we've been doing is creating like a vacuum in these areas so that the lymph is free to come up and in, and then it goes into here and sort of detoxes. There's a cat involved. He loves it. Coming in to the groin. So here, my ASIS, my anterior superior iliac spine, the top of, or the front of my hip bone, pubic bone, and I'm going in between those two places above my inguinal fold, so up here. Just digging in with the tips of my fingers, trying to relax and soften the main channel of my body. I remember in dance class, like being told, find your center. That's a really interesting concept. Like there could be many ways of looking at it. In Laban, we have, this is our center of levity, our center of lightness in our lungs, and our center of gravity in our pelvis. So like this is the sort of down to the earth, and this is the up to the heavens possibilities. Of course, we could have them going in opposite directions. So if my guts and my groundedness are always pulling up and my lungs are dropping down, that creates a very different energetic pattern. So we want them all to be able to do everything. We want the center of levity to be able to go up and to be able to descend, the center of gravity to come up and also descend. Thinking of energetically in our body that we're not always pulling up. Sometimes we're really grounding down. Okay, going to the back of the knees. So right behind the fold of your knee. I'm gonna go one and then the other. Sometimes I do them both at the same time. Just gonna alternate a few times. And then let it go. Shake it all out. Wake up your canosphere, your realm of movement. Shake, shake, shake. Belly dancer action, bending one knee and the other. Let it all go. Woo. See if you can get your chest and lungs involved. Yeah, be weird. Embrace it. Find the sense of humor in your body. Explore that. It feels good and it's funny. I always feel good when I'm doing something really foolish in my body. And I don't know, when it's funny, it makes me feel good. It makes me happy. So let's come down to sit on our butts on the floor in a cross-legged position. Tuning into our inner David Bowie. And let's soften our diaphragm with that. Maybe big in through your nose, out through your mouth. Getting some David Bowie diaphragm action. And then the other way. Yeah, this brings me into appreciation for the air, for the breath in our bodies, for the wind outside, for our connection to that. And let's take it forward, soften head, neck, jaw, shoulders, easy and loose, shifting a little bit side to side. Again, as we're shifting with this head-tail connection, we are mobilizing that vagus nerve in our body. So we want to do it in a very gentle way, in a very loving way, not forcing and objectifying our body, but being like, oh, I'm in loving participation. This is the dynamic process of activity being alive. It's not, you do this, you do that. Oh, my body, it's not good. There's something wrong with it. There may be, but maybe it's better to feel good about it. I mean, in general, to be like in a participatory process. Change legs, whichever leg was in front, just change it so your non-dominant leg is in front. Open your arms out and let's stretch from side to side. Yeah, the participatory process. So kind of like maybe the first way that we might start to think about body, maybe not very evolved way, is that body as object, as a thing. But our bodies are a changing process. So we could also think like body as subject, like, oh, it's all these sensations and these actions, these things that it does. Or we can think of it as this dynamic process of aliveness circling around that's like the river, like it's constantly changing. And we're also adapting to everything around us at all times. So like, even if we want to think that we're alone here, we're never alone. We're always engaged in some way with our environment, whether that just means breathing the air or looking at the stuff that's around you or feeling whatever's around you. Could be the tension in the room or the ease in the room. So just, I'm having my deep thoughts day. So yay, deep thoughts. Let's change to legs out in front, hands out to the side, back of the hands towards each other. Inhale, open and expand. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Again, deep diaphragmatic breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's spiral this. Inhale. Serve the sandwiches to all your friends. Exhale, take it back. Inhale, open up. Serve the sandwiches. And exhale. Inhale. Open. Exhale. Inhale, spiral, open, and exhale. Again, feeling those arms, fingertips, the wingtips of the heart, the edges. So waking up maybe even the edges of your fingers as you radiate outward. Checking out your surroundings. And let's take it in, hands behind, feet on the floor, parallel, inhale, press it up, exhale. You can either take it down to here or you can go all the way back. Up, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Using your breath. Let's stay up, pulsing up with your hips, pushing 1, 2, 3, 4. So the back of the body is working, the front of the body is opening up. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Take it down. Walk your butt from side to side. Maybe costume fix, pull up your tights if they're falling down. And take it into an easy forward fold. Breathe, shifting from side to side. Again, head-tail connection, mobilizing that vagus, I was going to say the vagus cord, the vagus nerve. And when we mobilize, it's not like we want it to do a ton of movement. We want it to move very gently within our fascia. And our fascia is like this matrix, like if we knit a very three-dimensional sweater, filled it with water and kind of slimy stuff, that would be sort of what the fascia is like in there. And then there's many types of fascia. There's the really bandy stuff, and there's the sort of filmy stuff. And then there's the like superficial fascia, which is kind of cottage cheesy. Anyway, the nerves are routed through that. So when we are moving, all of that stuff is moving. Yeah, we're hydrating the tissue. I was doing some back bending the other day with my knees on the floor. I'm back bending and sitting on my knees like this. And then all of a sudden, boop, the cat pops through my legs. I'm like, it's again, like that sense of humor in the body. Like, I swear the cat has a really good sense of humor. He gets it. All right, let's take it down onto our backs. And easy loose knee drops. Massaging through the hips. Although he's just like, going under the bridge and giving himself a nice little pet as he goes under my knees. Breathe, soften the central channel, soften the center And maybe think of almost diffusing it. So the main energy system of your body, I mean, it could be very diffused already, and maybe you need to gather it in. But if it isn't, then I generally think that when people take mat classes, it tends to be heading towards center. Let's see if we can just open that up a little bit. Let's cross one foot over, big spiral. I really feel this in my rhomboids, in the space between my shoulder blades. Oh, it feels so good. And then coming in, let's do leg circles. I'm going to do these with my hands on the floor, slightly under my butt. My thumb is reaching right under. And I'm going to point my toes as I come up, open out, and flex and come down. These could be much smaller, or if you're super flexible, they could even be bigger. Work with something that feels good to you. Find a rhythm of your breath by listening in and staying connected, staying present with what you're doing. Two more. Last one. And let's just lower the legs down to the floor. Taking a heel rock. So digging the heels into your mat. Send a ripple of movement up and down through your body, tuning into the water in your body. And thank you for the water in the world that keeps us alive. Thank you for the water in our body. Breathing, sending that movement up and down like a wave. And if you feel just some kind of stuck parts, just invite them to soften a little bit and maybe give it a little bit more movement. So it's a combo of nudging and letting go. A little bit of activity and also release, release, release. Let that go. And let's open the feet wider than your sticky mat, internally rotate one leg at a time. On a scale of 1 to David Bowie, how shiny and sparkly are you feeling in your life today? On the David Bowie scale, which is a pretty big scale. He had all those different periods, like the low period. Let's stretch out and roll from side to side. Aladdin Sane, Ziggy Stardust, the Thin White Duke. And come in, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. The hunky-dory phase. Shake out the arms. And then like the, what is it, pin-ups way before those. Hands behind your head, one leg crossing in, one leg out, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Take it down. Let's take the hands down and lift the pelvis up. From there, walk your shoulders closer together, interlace your hands behind your back, push the floor away. And we're going to inhale, knees open wide, exhale, close. If you can't connect your hands, that's fine. Just push the floor away. Wherever you are is fine. Open and close. Yeah, the stories we tell ourselves matter. The stories we tell ourselves and ourselves matter. So even if everything's not perfect, is it good enough? Is it enough? That's maybe a better goal than perfect. Coming into center, We're going to lift up tippy toes and lower the heels. You may have to walk your feet in closer. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Deep cellular breathing. Last one. And release. Take it down. Open your arms. And let's take a happy baby here. Just wiggling around. Grab your knees, grab your feet, whatever feels good to you. And then find some happy babiness. What does that even mean? Can you come back to any kind of even like imagined memory of being a happy baby? Happy baby with no like imposed ideas of what your body should look like or be like. Although I think those come on really quickly. As soon as you see images and stuff like that, it's pretty easy to figure out what the supposed to is in the culture. Shake it all out. Shake, shake, shake. Let it go. And release. Let's roll back and forth, rounding through your spine. If forward backward hurts, just roll side side instead. Using your breath. Yeah, so I have like some nerve pain in the back of my neck and shoulders from some fabulous pole dancing. It's been about a month or maybe even a little longer since we did that thing that gave me that nerve pain, and nerve pain can take a long time to heal. So it's actually way better than it was, but I definitely feel it. And it's very different than muscle pain. It's very different. It's really interesting, like, because I can feel it. And then if I even just touch it like that, the pain will go away. Like just touch. And then it's like, oh, okay. So it's like, in a weird way, I think sometimes nerve pain is like, it's the passage of pain has created, imprinted a memory in your body. And it's like, no, we're still playing this out. We're still playing this out. And there's like a point of like, no, it's okay. You don't need to. It's, I gotcha. And also when I'm like, oh, it feels like if I had a crick in my neck, but it's actually quite the opposite. I can move really easily. Let's open up into a straddle. And just shift from side to side. So I'm shifting onto one butt cheek and then the other. And I'm letting my spine free up. So this is very free flow movement. Again, thinking of softening that core. So it's not like sometimes the ideas in Pilates or even yoga or dance can be very rigid. Soften it. So let's find some softness coming from our hearts, maybe out into your arms, or you can lift yourself up out of this. But finding some softness and freedom, free flow, free thinking, aliveness in your body, in your mind, in your heart, lungs, and arms. Yeah, sometimes we get very rigid about how things are. And then like if we look from a different angle, they look very different. So trying to let some of that rigidity go. And then let's come on to hands and knees. Curling the toes under. Let's do this with free flow. So it's going to be, you can put your tops of the feet down or toes curled under. You could be on your elbows. You could be here, any of those places. Just finding some free flow in your spine, like a curious snake, wondering what is possible. What can your spine do? What can your torso do? If you were an alien who had just landed in this body for the first time, how would you figure out how to move if you didn't have other people to look at? So let yourself play with that movement, experimenting with what's possible. And finding again a sense of free flow and fluidity from the head to the tail, or even from the soles of the palms of your hands to the soles of your feet, a little bit of freedom, freedom fries. And then let's relax from that for a second. coming onto your knees or onto your butt. Take your hands, you're going to squeeze your fingers together. So my hands are interlaced, and I am, if I don't squeeze my fingers, my hands would open up. So my arms are pulling out. I can feel this widening in the front of my chest. And I'm going to take my arms up over my head and make circles, letting my rib cage, lungs, heart mobilize. And also that whole rotator cuff. So if this hurts at all, take it really easy and change direction. This is my very bastardized adaptation of a Julia Horvath exercise from gyrokinesis. I did a gyrokinesis teacher training, but then I didn't follow. I didn't want to keep paying dues, nor did I want to follow anyone's program. And at the time that I did the teacher training, it was like, you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. And I'm like, that's not the way that I work. I listen to this, and then I do what I feel like works next. So I was like, no thanks. But I got some great training in the interim of that. Let's just free flow the arms again, like almost like you're cloud busting with your body. So letting your rib cage, lungs, heart, and arms have some freedom. I am going to be the mermaid today in the Santa Claus parade. I will make sure to take some photos of my costume. It's actually an amazing costume that this woman, who's a dancer, who I think she works mostly in the city, but she's also up here or in Connecticut or something. She has these incredible costumes, so I'm super lucky to get one of hers. All right, let's come back to hands and knees, and let's go opposite arm to leg. You're going to reach out, take it to the diagonal, bring it back into line, lower down, up, diagonal, line, down, up and out and in, lower, up, out, in, lower, up, out, in. And we're doing froggy winter courting. So that's what we're doing in Santa Claus. Fortunately, we're inside, we're indoors in the Methodist Church in Rhinebeck. Anthony gets to be Mother Goose. I'm the mermaid. And relax that, take your elbow. Oh, he's going to the top. I have these huge stuffed bras from a show that we did from Enredaderas. And we had this white section where everyone's wearing, it's like the white picket fence perfection. Everyone's got boobs out to here in these little outfits. And I see he has found them. He's gonna make a great Mother Goose. Take one leg out behind you, elbows on the floor, up and down, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, keep going, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Switch it to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and take it back and down and just relax into your child's pose. Soften the spine, soften the central axis, whatever that means to you. Soften your idea of yourself. Give yourself more space, more room, more spaciousness. And then shift a little bit more from side to side. Yeah, we're so much more dynamic, or we can be, as humans, adjusting and adapting the plasticity of our brains, learning new tricks, all that kind of stuff. And learning keeps us alive. Roll it up. Hold on. Cool. Let's come onto our sides. You're gonna take this very easy, Amy, on your one side. So if anything hurts, don't do it. We're gonna do, knees are bent. Let me show you a little bit better line. There we go. You're gonna inhale up, spiral, look under your armpit, inhale and lower. If that hurts, you could skip lifting your hips. This could also just be an exercise like that. So inhale with the hips or not, spiral, open it up, come down. Inhale, twist, up, lower, up, spiral, up, down, up, spiral, lift, lower, up, twist, lift, lower, up, twist, lift. That's our last one. Come down. Coming all the way onto your side. Let's go with bent knees, head in your hand or here. Whatever feels good. You're in 2 right angles, angle there, angle here, up and down, knee to the ceiling, going 1, 2, as high as it can go. So knees going up, your hips are moving, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then keeping your foot touching just the knee. This time your hips are more stable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think you should wear your combat boots because it's a, tap it out. It's a steampunk center claws. I think you should wear your combat boots because it's a steampunk center claws. And the old woman, like that Mother Goose, wear those black lace up boots. Knee into your chest and kick back. Going 1, 2. I'm flexing as I push back and then knee pointing as I come up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Point your toes, drop it down, go 1, 2, way behind you, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend your knee, take it back, push. I have a feeling he's going to be like the best character. The last most scrabbled together character might steal the show. And then release, roll over onto your back, cross your ankle over your knee and draw it in towards you. Breathe, melt. And then release and just shake out your legs. Shake, 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 shake. And let it go. And let's, I heard. No, hold on. Let's flip over to the other side. Okay, coming onto your other side, starting with your knees bent. And either hips come off the floor or not. So you could do this here with no hips coming off the floor, or you can lift up and spiral. Inhale, down, up, twist, up, down, up, spiral, lift, lower, up, spiral, lift, lower, up, spiral, lift, down, up, spiral, lift, down. 2 more, twist, open, lower, last one, up, and twist, and lift, and come down onto your side, 2 bent knees, head either here or here, up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing, 6, 7, 8, 9, really full breathing, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, don't hold it in. Let yourself huff and puff. Let it out. Take up breath space. I know that women tend to, it's been my experience at the gym, especially, that women don't want to make noise breathing. They kind of keep it in. So make some noise. Take like, tear it apart with the breath. Make it big. Up and down. 1, 2, 3. So that's not all just a gendered thing, but it tends to be. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Tap it out. Knee into your chest and kick back. Flex your foot. Reach into the back space. Open this all up. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we're just doing 10, not 12 of those. Point back, touch the floor, opening the front of your hips, taking the leg back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And bend your knee, stretch your quad, breathe into it. And then roll over onto your back. Cross your ankle over your knee, draw it in towards you, breathe into it. Any version of this that works for you, go for it. Breathe and melt. And then release. Shake, 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 shake. Let it all go. And let's roll over onto our bellies and come onto baby cobra. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Lift, lower, lift, lower, up, down, up. Connect your hands, arch all the way up. Open the front of your chest, long neck. Take it down. Use your breath. Inhale, shine out through the heart. Sparkly heart. Inhale, open. And exhale. Inhale deep. Let the breath give you more space in your spine. Using the breath to create length. One more. Optional, bending your knees. And release, take it back into your child's pose. Wiggle, let it go. Shift your weight back towards your heels. And take your feet onto the floor, coming up, opening your feet maybe to the edges of your mat, just shifting from side to side. Bending one knee, bending the other. Letting your head drop, easy and loose. Working for easy body, not forced body. Easy, letting go, melting, softening, strengthening also. Roll it up through your spine, coming all the way up to the top. And I'm going to finish it off fast because I've got to get together. So inhale and open. Exhale, let's do sparkle fingers. So wakening up the hands, inhale, lift and open, and sparkle fingers down, just bringing your awareness into the space between your fingers. Inhale, lift, like you're making snow or making rain, soft and gentle. Just feeling what kind of energy is in your hands. Inhale, lift, sparkle fingers or snowflake fingers. 2 more. Inhale, lift, and exhale. Even slowing it down, gentle and soft. Last one. Inhale. Letting the fingers breathe. Shake it all out. Yay. All right. Everybody in TV land, woohoo. And people in the actual room, I'm going to stop the recording.